Welcome to Hate Clarity. I'm your host, Lindsay, and today we're doing a collective Akashic Records for the Libra full moon. It's also April Fool's Day, and I'm a huge fan of the archetype of the Fool. So we're going to do a little bonus question at the end about any messages from the archetype of the Fool that there might be for us. But under the reading of the Libra full moon, we're going to ask the questions: what is the overall energy of this full moon? What is being illuminated for us? What has come to fruition? What are we letting go of? What's the most important message we need to know? And then the bonus one about the Fool. Let's get into it. What is the overall energy of this Libra full moon? I'm getting like stark realities. It's almost like this idea of like, so when we're thinking of like Libra and balance, things that are unbalanced to balanced, I'm getting there's like the stark realities of things in our lives that are unbalanced, micro and macro. And I'm seeing like this almost like white pillar in front of me, just white. I'm getting narrow focused in stark realities. Almost like there's no looking away from this one reality that we each might be facing. It's like, it's almost so highlighted that like we go about our lives, but this thing keeps showing up. This reality, this stark reality is just dead center and like focused in front of your face. And even when you try and look at the surrounding things in your life, this thing is just highlighted. That's why it's almost like this white pillar. Like I cannot keep my eyes off this pillar. Stark realities. Can you go a little bit deeper? What is the energy of this full moon in Libra? It's like unbalanced, stark realities. Okay. And they're like micro and macro. And it's almost like the macro is serving us in showing us those imbalanced or unbalanced things in our lives in a stark reality. So I'm getting like, Libra, the scales of justice, injustice, justice in our own lives, like when we experience injustice. And I'm getting even like our level of injustice is shifting, almost like in comparison to other injustices in the world. And I'm seeing like, oh, water rolling off my back. Like I'm seeing like a duck, water rolling off its back. And they're like things that may have felt, I'm getting like weakened injustices. So like things that we have felt in the past to be completely unfair, stark realities are highlighting that it's maybe not a big deal and that there are more serious issues of like stark realities. So again, this macro experience is informing our micro experience. Just so many little visuals in that. Okay. But they're highlighting the word stark realities. Oh, well, that kind of leads into the next question of what's being illuminated for us. They're like, yeah, glowing, unbalanced. Like what's being illuminated is like we're like, I'm getting like fixated. We like can't get fixated on other possibilities or other options or other things until we really like focus and hone in on this one or two realities that are like really like in our faces. What is being illuminated? On a core level. We may be going into, I'm getting like deeper, more levels of our connections, our communications, our style of interactions. How do we want to engage? How do we want to disengage? And I'm getting like to bring more peace, like for more peace in your life. And they're saying like factual, like what is actual peace? Not like this denial or this idea of peace. They're saying there's like new ideas, new universal ideas of peace. What does peace look like? New ideas, new information of what more peace looks like long term. And I'm getting not like living in denial peace, not pretending everything's okay peace. And how do you, I'm getting like, dig in the mud, get in the mud of all the stuff that's not real peace for you. I'm seeing you like flipping through files, like we're going through files like in our lives of like recklessness, forcefulness, like ways that we're not super peaceful or haven't been, ways that we have engaged or disengaged that have either created more peace or less peace in our lives. So we're really looking at this idea of like more peace in our lives, and what does that look like, and how can we create that? How can we shape that? Balance it. What has come to fruition for us under this Libra full moon? What has come to fruition for us? We've upped to a new level. We've up-leveled. And they're like, shake it off. Like, this is why, like, we've grown a lot. There's been a lot of like internal growth because of external experiences. And so we are new versions of ourselves in a lot of ways, more grown up. I'm getting like more realizations of ourselves and the world, how we walk in it, walk around it, walk away from things. And I'm getting, again, more peace, more peaceful ways of doing all of that. What has come to fruition? In this new level that we've grown into, there's more peace. And we have been doing the digging, or we are doing the digging around at a core level to figure out what that means in our lives. What does that actually look like on a daily, basis in our like regular lives? Not necessarily what's going on in the external world, but almost using that vision, the visuals of, the horrors, the wars, the violence, the torture, the suffering, the struggling, like all the things. They're saying economic value, like all these very tumultuous hardships, adversity, the people involved, like using all of that as reflection, more reflection for more peace, more realizations for more peace in our everyday lives. What are we letting go of? What are we letting go of under this Libra full moon? I'm seeing like little people, like, ping, ping, get them off my shoulders. Like, these like annoying little people. It's almost like I'm a giant and there's little people on my shoulders, like pulling on me or tugging at my heartstrings, tugging at different things, annoying me, bothering me, trying to hurt me. We're letting go of people who are trying to hurt us. And they're like, that's so funny, right? Like, that's so funny right now. But like, you don't always, like, you let a lot of things slide. We let a lot of things slide. We don't always like nip it in the bud. We don't always walk away soon enough. We don't always notice things right away, right? So we're even like more sensitive to the things that are disturbing our peace. We're more sensitive to the things that are unbalanced. So those people, relationships, connections that maybe in the past felt like these big giants shouting at us. I'm getting more information, more conditioning, like all the things just blaring at us. Suddenly they're this tiny. They're not a big deal. And it makes more sense. I don't need that. I don't need that. And we're just kind of flicking away. These people get really small, or the situations or the experiences get really small. And they're doable to get away, to do away with the experiences. What's the most important message we need to know about this Libra full moon? What's the most important message we need to know about this Libra full moon? Unbalanced. Like, you will let go of this. You will let go of the things that are unbalanced. You will let go of the things that are unfair. You will release them. You will either resolve them, like creative problem solve. You will either resolve them, make peace with them, walk away, whatever it is, like simpler. I'm getting simple ways, simplified. And maybe the emotional charge or the mental stress of the thing has gotten smaller, so it's much easier to do that. And I'm getting like, forget about her, forget about him, no big deal. They don't matter in my life. This doesn't matter in my life. Why am I harping on it? Why is my mental health looping this situation? Or why is it affecting my mental health? Because it seemed bigger. These people seemed very big in our lives. Their voices seemed loud, and now they seem very small in comparison to our experiences and what we're seeing in the external world. So what may have bothered you for weeks or months about a person, suddenly it kind of goes away, like in a couple hours, in a day, kind of like as soon as you have an awareness of it and you're like, oh, and they're flashing that white pillar again. Stark reality. But it's simplified and it doesn't have quite the emotional and mental charge anymore. So it's just easier to just flick it away. Bonus message for April Fool's Day for the Fool. What messages does the Fool have for us? I'm getting play a fool, play a fool. Don't be a fool, don't play a fool. Don't play the fool. The fools are the beginning of something, of a lesson learned. If you are the fool, you are journeying from the beginning, at the beginning, into some like lesson to be learned. And I'm leaning more towards, it's a good point. It's a good point. It's a good lesson. It's a good lesson. There might be bad undercurrents, but there's a good lesson on top of it. But I'm getting like, don't be playing a fool. Don't be played by a fool. There's like a double meaning going on. They're showing me like two different ways that we think of a fool, like that word. If it's not serious, it's a fool. I hope this is making sense to you guys because it's like weird stuff going on. Hold on. Can you guys be like super clear? What's the message from the Fool? I'm just getting don't be a fool. And don't play fool's games. But also use that other symbolic, that other archetype of the Fool as journeying into the beginning of something. And the excitement and the naivety of something new, learning, student, feeling inspired, the mystery, the unknown, like going into it. it's almost like this journeying with the Fool oftentimes comes with some bad undercurrent. I'm getting fear. Fear is in the undercurrent. Fear, fear, fear. And all these other things get in the way when the undercurrent, this bad undercurrent, is fear. But I'm getting eventually the lesson always learned is a good lesson, right? Like we're journeying on top, we're journeying. Undercurrent could be fear, could be whatever stuff. But then it's like what comes out of the undercurrent, what comes at the end of whatever the full journey is that you're on or you begin, there's always a good lesson learned. So like think of the benefits of the lessons that you have learned. And they're going back to even like the Libra full moon message of like unbalanced to balanced and these like stark realities. Sorry, my puppy's barking, so I think that means time's up. I have to go tend to her. Anything else? Any final last words? Journeying and then good lessons learned. You know, at last, like in the end, there are benefits. You find benefits. You find like the golden pot at the end of the rainbow or whatever, at the end of the journey. There's always a transformation. They're saying it's always worthwhile, you know. Okay, that felt a little bit confusing. Hopefully that made more sense. I'll have to watch this back and see what that was because it was like a little bit jumbled in my mind. Maybe because of, I'm getting the word, they're saying contradictions. There's like contradictions about the Fool. There's like the positive and the negative, the like deceptive qualities of it, and then like the innocent qualities of it, the curiosity of it. So I think what they're trying to say is like, whoever's watching this, you all might have different perspectives on what you think of when you think of the word Fool. So they're trying to hit multiple perspectives so that it one of these messages or both of these messages on some level speaks to you. They're like, bingo. Okay, got it, thanks. Okay, so that was the Akashic Records collective message for the Libra full moon. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.